Ooh, welcome back everyone. We finished part of the Senpou temple, and now instead of moving ahead, we're actually going to turn around to find a wooden walkway this way that you can either jump to or grapple to, and then jump over to the next one, try to hug the wall. Whoops. Grab this item, and we can talk to this memorial mob, which unfortunately offers nothing of much interest, apart from a refillable gourd of 5-color rice, which you can leave as a marker. Also sells Dragon's Blood Droplet and 2 Persimmon, which is an item that can recover posture even when attacking or taking damage. We need exactly one of them, and we'll find a free one later, so don't bother if you ask me. But we can climb back up here and continue forward. And we're going to grapple to this tree, and instead of grappling up here, because there are several Senpou assassins waiting to ambush you, instead we'll come this way. Plus there's a Mibu Balloon of Spirit here. And before we rush the gentleman on the rock near the tree over there, there's an assassin right here on the wall just waiting for us. Try to tag him with a shuriken, or just let him fall down and sneak up behind him. That works too. And then we can jump over here to get behind this guy. Oh, he spotted me. There's another assassin right on the other side of that grapple point, and the last one up there. So grapple over to here. Ooh. Get this guy. Grapple up to this tree, and then you can jump and ledge grab onto the walkway, but don't climb up, instead shimmy so that we can ledge kill this one. Now we may climb up. That was the assassin hitting the ground and dying. Climb up here instead of going this way. That's a dead end. We're gonna get to there in a second. Oop. Double jump and grab. Shimmy. Get up to this tree. Over to this ledge. Right in front of this large covered bridge that actually houses the next mini-boss. Before we tackle him though, we're gonna take a little detour. Because if you come over here, jump up here, we can find a red and white pinwheel, amongst millions of others, which is the red and white spinning flower that the Tarot Troop brute Kotaro mentioned, the one we could talk to. Now we're gonna come down here, and if you drop down a couple, there's a wooden walkway this way that you can jump to, but you have to be pushing against this rock right here to make it. Because you just barely make it. Then from here we have another treacherous jump where we're going to grab the ledge way down there. So jump, and then grab. And instead of going to the left, I'm going to turn around where there's a grapple point. Make sure you position yourself a little bit so that you grapple towards the left of it, so that we can land on that cliff. For a heavy coin purse. Then we can use these. Oh, no. Then we have to homeward idle back to the Shigundo Sculptor's Idol. continue back. The enemies will have respawned. But you can take them out just as quickly. Make it back to here. Go back down to the area where we made a kind of leap of faith. Jump to the walkway. Jump to the cliff. And now we can shimmy to the left. Climb, jump, grab, climb. Watch out for the gecko that drops on the ground. Oh. Thought there was an item over there. Jump up these two walls. There's the item. And we can pick up a white pinwheel. He said, he being Kotaro, said that there was a pure white flower that he was looking for, and we just found it. This will open up a couple of options for Kotaro's questline, which I'll mention when we get back to him at our next Sculptor's Idol. So with that in hand, we can grapple over and grapple over here. Or come out to this building. However you want to do it. If you want to walk up the walkways, you can. And in this broken area, there's some monkey booze, which you can give to one of the NPCs for some backstory. And notice there's a centipede creature on the other side of this wall here. When you open the door, be mindful of him. Luckily, they go down quite easily. Take care of him. Grab some upgrade materials. And we can continue up this way to find some items worth talking about. First and foremost, the Sculptor's Idol, which I'll commune with in a second. And second is the Bell Demon, or the Demon Bell. It asks you not to ring it, and then gives you the option to ring it. If you do, you get an item. I forget exactly what it's called. I think it's just called the Demon Bell's Eye. Don't quote me on that. And what that does is it increases the difficulty of the entire game, but killing enemies gives you more money, experience, and a better chance at dropping items. And some other things to note is there's a shortcut back here that leads to the cave that I've mentioned a couple of times now that has the mini-boss back in Ashina Outskirts. When we first beat a samurai general, there was the little side path we took that contained a divine confetti and a very dark cave that we crouched to get into. And I mentioned that there was a mini-boss and so we wanted to hug the wall as we went around. And this leads you right back to that same cave. So what this is used for a lot of times, speedrunners or like pro gamers will use that shortcut the first time they're in Ashina Outskirts to make it all the way to here in the first like hour of the game and activate the demon bell to increase the difficulty and get more rewards. So with all that said, commune with the sculptor's idol. Another thing to note, if you walked up the walkway, there's a bunch of geckos on the path. So if you want some free experience, you can go kill them. Rest if you need to. I don't think I did, but it's habit. And now we can go talk to Kotaro. So travel back to the first sculptor's idol, I almost called it a bonfire, in Senpou Temple. Come out here and let's go talk to Kotaro. There he is right there, so jump on over. And before I talk to him, there's a couple of things we can do. So if you give him the red and white pinwheel, he becomes open to discussion. At that point, you can send him to two places. You can send him to Dojin, I think his name was, the crazy-looking surgeon in the abandoned dungeon who's looking for a large soldier to run experiments on. If you do that, his quest line will end with his Kotaro's death, and you end up with a higher version of a red lump. But I think that route is not very useful. You can also send him to Anayama the peddler, who is looking for a large body to help him move corpses along the battlefields. That ends in him having a higher inventory, which I find very useful. And the last option is to give him the white pinwheel. This opens up his quote-unquote good questline ending, where he then asks to be spirited away, upon which you are to use the Divine Abduction Shinobi tool to whisk him away to another land, where we will meet up with him later, and he will end up giving you a nice persimmon that replenishes extra posture, which I don't find very useful either. So what we're going to do is talk to him, and give him the red and white pinwheel. Suggest a travel destination, and tell him about Anayama the peddler. Then I'm gonna see by jumping along this rock here. If I rest, can we talk to Anayama the peddler? So warp back to the outskirts wall stairway. Turn around, kill the chicken. And there's Kotaro.
おお、本に戦で死んだ鎧兜をこのご時世で。旦那、いいやつ力もおかげでまあもちろん見ていってくれ。
So now he offers more sugars and a limited amount of the medium rarity upgrade materials.
旦那の足ない旦那もことはつれまあいいや旦那
So with that done, let's travel back to Shagundo. Yeah. then we'll continue on. Unfortunately, we'll have to take on the Senpou assassins yet again. There we go, easy peasy. Climb back up, and now we will prepare for the next mini-boss. Which is an interesting one. As we walk through this bridge, in this little alcove on the right here, out will come a large armored knight. And when I say armored, he is a full-on knight in a giant suit of armor. And as such, since his armor is so thoroughly covering his body, your loaded spear will not rip it off, and your attacks cannot damage his health. Furthermore, your death blows do not actually kill him. In fact, you can't kill him. What you can do, the whole goal of this mini-boss, is to position him in such a way that his back is to the wall of this bridge when you pull off a death blow. When you pull off a death blow, you will kick him back several feet, and if he's close enough to the wall, he'll fall off the side of the bridge and be vanquished. As for his moveset goes, it's very slow and pretty easily deflected. The only thing you have to keep in mind is he'll drop his sword to the side and crouch low as if like a come at me bro type of stance, and come forward with a 4-hit combo that ends with a long reaching lunge. So with that, I'm trying to remember if he has any perilous attacks. I think he's got a low swing. Either has a low swing or he has a stab. It's one of the two. Just keep your eyes open. I believe it's a stab. And if you see the red kanji pop up, prepare to dodge to try and get a Mikiri counter. And since you can't deal any damage to him, I think it's best to use an Ungo's sugar. And there he is. So there's the slash. Here comes his combo. 1, 2, 3, 4. See there, he can fall forward a little bit. Does that overhead slam. Close. One more deflection. And that should do it. And he falls into a cataclysmic boom. And we get a prayer bead. And Breath of Nature's Shadow, which recovers posture upon performing a successful death blow. So now, every time we pull off a death blow, we recover some health and some posture. Which, again, is why I've told you to get into the habit of pulling off death blows, even when you've already killed your opponent. With him out of the way, we can get this scrap magnetite, activate this sculptor's idol. Rest if you need to. And since this next section is going to take quite some time to get to the next idol, I'm going to call it a short episode. And when we come back, we'll tackle the temple grounds. Make it all the way up to there. Until then, stay safe.